What's up everyone? As you recall in the last video, I mentioned that I was ordering a few parts for my CBR. I ordered a bundle of parts. The first thing to show up to my house was the oil kit. I received that. We put it on in the last video. And now we have a few other parts that were remaining in that bundle that just showed up today. I think after we get done installing these items, I might take a break from the CBR and focus a little more of my attention to the Shelby that I have in the garage. I did order some LEDs for the bike. Right now the bike has factory lights and they're not really that bright. I found these, I believe they're 6000K or 6500K, I can't recall, but I'll double check and I'll put that link in the description down below. The next item that I got, the flush mount turn signals from TST Industries. Come with washers. The last flush mounts that I had came with double stick tape and that didn't last long. And I also ordered a relay so I can get the turn signals to flash normal instead of flashing really fast. I'm just gonna show you the last thing that I got, which I am very excited to get on because right now my bike has a stock windscreen. Once I get on the highway, that wind is chopping against my neck and my helmet, so I wanted to get something that would create a better air bubble for me and not have so much wind resistance. So I got the zero gravity Corsa windscreen, which is supposed to be a little bit bigger than the double bubble, but I'm okay with that. Right off the bat, you can tell that the hump on this windscreen is substantially higher than the stock one. The windscreen from the factory is made from injection molded polycarbonate, where this windscreen is made from form acrylic plastic. And we have the LED lights for the bike. This is for the low beam and the high beam. We have the TST Industries turn signals with the halo on there, and we have the relay to prevent it from flashing super fast. Along with that, the finishing part that we got that's really going to set the bike apart from the way it looked before is going to be the windscreen. And I'm really excited to get this on. It looks really great, and I can't wait to show you guys the finished product. We are ready to put the parts on. I went ahead and moved the bike over a little bit. I went ahead and put the old turn signal back on, the stock one, just so you can see like what you're gonna need to do. Whenever you get the fairing off, you're gonna see that it's got like a rubber grommet that's in between both fairings, and then it's gonna have like a metal molding or some kind of metal I don't know what you would call it, not like a washer, but I'll show you right now. And this is a 10mm bolt. You're gonna take this off first, and then you're just gonna really just pull this out. Honestly, it should come right out. What you want to do is come from the outside, and you'll be able to see the metal piece sticking out from the inside. There's two metal circles, and that's all attached to the other side. So you're going to want to push out from the inside so that way you don't scratch up the fairings on the outside, if that makes any sense. Push from the inside, and then on the outside you're going to want to just turn it left and right. That way it'll just, if you see what I'm doing right there, it'll just come off on its own instead of like pushing down, because if you push down you're going to put pressure on the fairing and you're going to end up scratching that. And once it's out enough, you can just honestly pull it out by hand. And it's right here. This is exactly what you're going to be pulling out. The last thing you're going to want to take off is the rubber grommet. This is the left fairing. So you're going to want to use your left hand with your thumb and index finger, squeeze it, and get a good grip on it. Squeeze it, the top part of it right here. And then with your right thumb, you're gonna push in on the outer side of the fairing, so that way you can use both the outside and the inside force to get it out. And it should come out from the inside of the fairing, not the outside. What I like to do for best practice is whenever you're done with everything, try to reassemble all the parts that go with it. What I did was put everything back together as if it were attached to the fairing, And even the 10 millimeter nut, I put that back onto the stud just because I'm not going to need that with the new TST Industries flush mounts. They come with their own hardware with a washer and a bolt, so I won't really need this. Put it all together as one assembly, put it away somewhere, because you never know what the future holds. You might sell the bike and you might want to make some money off the aftermarket parts that you hold, and you can put the original parts back on, and you won't be scrambling trying to figure out what you did with that nut or the rubber grommet or the metal one. And so it's just best practice in my opinion. You're gonna want to just mock it up slowly, carefully, and it should have a flush fitting with the fairing. There's really only one way it could go. We try to install the left turn signal on the right fairing. It's just not gonna fit. It's gonna be like a puzzle piece that does not fit. So you'll know if you have it on the wrong fairing. So this turn signal goes to the left fairing, and once you slide it in, it's a perfect fit. And it should say TST Industries on top. If you have it on bottom, you have it the wrong way. This is where the screw is gonna go into. You're gonna thread it into there, and the washer is gonna go between the flush mount and the head of the screw. The final product should look like this. Turn it around on the other side, you'll see how I had mentioned before, the washer is supposed to keep pressure onto the screw and the fairing to keep that in place and intact. Don't over tighten it. It is fragile plastic and you will end up cracking it. Just give it just enough snug. When you mock the fairing back up with the lower fairing, you're going to want to look at these ridges and make sure that they're aligning with the grooves in the lower fairing, like as you can see there. And then also right there's another ridge that's going to go into that groove up. And then this plug is going to go connected to this stock harness plug, which controls the turn signals. Alright, we are done putting both fairings back on with the turn signals. I did want to make note that the best and easiest way to get the fairing back on was to make sure that all the grooves on the top fairing towards the gas tank are aligned with the inner openings for it. So make sure that's aligned first, but prior to doing that, you want to slide this in just a bit so that way once you push this forward, it will align perfectly inside there. And lastly, you want to flex the bottom fairing just enough to get the grooves from the top fairing to go into the bottom fairing. And then once everything aligns, you can put all the Allen bolts back on. Like I mentioned before in the last video, the longest Allen bolt will go towards the end of the fender. I mean the back of the fairing. I did put all the push screws back in. There's two right here on top on each side, and then there's two at the bottom right here and right here. So there's a total of 8 push screws that you'll have to put back in. And just like that, everything's back on, and now you can see what the daytime running halo looks like on each side. And now you can see when I put the turn signal on, it's going to be flashing super fast. In order to solve that problem, what we're going to do is install this relay from TST Industries. I'll go ahead and put the part number inside the description. It should also take care of the back turn signal as well, which is also from TST Industries and will flash super fast too if I have my blinker on. In order to get to the relay, you're going to have to remove the seat, which is going to be held down by 2 10mm bolts. And those are the bolts that you're going to be removing. What I use is a 1/4 ratchet with an extension and a deep socket. The relay will be located right here, and it will be attached to this connector. It will require some manipulation, so if you see this slides into that opening, you're gonna just use a flathead screwdriver and push down right about there, and it's gonna go ahead and release it from that other end of the clip, and then you can just pull it out. Once you do that, you can put the new one back in. The new TST Industries relay does come with the clips, so that way you can hook it back up to where the stock relay was mounted onto. It will just require a little bit of manipulation as well. So what you can do is get a flathead screwdriver, and on the middle part of the bike, stick it in that wedge and turn it counterclockwise. And then once you have it just open just enough, you can slide the new relay back in halfway and then slide it to the right so that way it's fully mocked up. Relay went ahead and alleviated that problem for both the tail light and the front flush mount turn signals. What we're going to install now are the LED bulbs. What we will be doing is removing the plastic covering, which is right there. I go see it right there. So that is where you're going to be taking off the first plastic cover. What you're going to do is get that hook right here, and you're going to go ahead and remove it from that metal housing, and it should slide right out. It's gonna be kind of hard to describe how I got it out, but there's a metal wire you'll see that goes and bends and turns. You're gonna just push down on it and push to the right at the very edge of it, because it's holding down the light bulb, and once you do that, it'll release it, and all you have to do is just pull it back and it'll come out on its own. You're gonna push down right here and it'll release. Just like that. You can just push it out and pull out. We're about to remove the windscreen next. It looks like it's just held on by 2 Allen bolts on the left and 2 Allen bolts on the right. And on the inside, you'll see that there are these rubber grommets that keep everything in place. And they have metal threading on the inside, which will allow the bolt to thread in from the outer side of the fairing. I did have to take the mirrors out just so I can pry this up a little bit, because this plastic protrudes into the windscreen, so you'll need to lift it up. So ideally it would be better if you had another person lifting this side and lifting this side up on the bike, so that way whenever you get a grip on the windscreen, you can just tug it up and not have to worry about breaking anything. And just like that, guys, we're absolutely done with the list of modifications that we did to this bike in the last 2 videos. You can see right there that the header is smoking from when I did the oil change. It's nothing to be alarmed of. I knew that was going to happen, so if that happens to you, just don't freak out. You can start seeing the smoke come out. Thanks everyone for staying tuned in for the channel. I do have some plans later on this week. I do have another diecast meet that I'm attending on Sunday. So at this Hot Wheels meet, they will have a bunch of different diecasts there, different diecast brands like Hot Wheels, Greenlight, M2s, Auto Worlds. I'll have a table out there and I'll be setting up with a buddy of mine. And after that, I'll see what I can sell, and if I don't sell too much, no big deal. I do want to just kind of walk around, see what everyone else has, and pick their brains for a little bit, see what kind of information they can share with us, and have them show us some of their most valuable pieces. Maybe they might be able to share some tips and tricks with us about how you go about finding super treasure hunts, 0 out of 5 chases, and those other good ones, M2 brawls, all that good jazz. So stay tuned in everyone, and I appreciate the love. Thanks.